What if the last hour before sleep was never meant to be quiet? Tonight, you might dim the lights, scroll through your phone, watch a video, and finally close your eyes. But for most of human history, none of that existed. No glowing screens, no alarm clocks, no blue light settings, no television humming in the background. So what did people do? And more importantly, how did ancient humans know when it was time to sleep? The answer takes us into a world where darkness was dangerous. Nights were longer, and the human brain had to solve a problem we still struggle with today. How do you switch off when the world around you never truly feels safe? For hundreds of thousands of years, your ancestors ended their days very differently from you. But here's where things get strange. They may not have gone straight from activity to sleep at all. Imagine a small group of early humans gathered around a fire as darkness spreads across the landscape. The day's work is over, hunting has stopped, food has been shared, the temperature is falling. And now something happens that modern life has almost completely erased. The group becomes the evening entertainment. No headphones, no streaming services, no social media. Instead, there are voices, stories, arguments, laughter, warnings, memories. The oldest form of bedtime routine may have been social connection. Anthropologists studying traditional hunter-gatherer societies have found that evening hours often become important periods for social interaction, storytelling, music, and ritual. In these communities, darkness doesn't necessarily mean everyone immediately disappears into sleep. It can become the time when knowledge is transferred from one generation to another. And that raises a fascinating possibility. Maybe ancient humans didn't relax before sleep in the modern sense. Maybe they prepared their minds. Think about what a story does to the human brain. It organizes chaos, it explains danger, it teaches lessons without requiring anyone to experience the danger personally. A child hears about the animal that attacked someone near the river. A young hunter learns where not to walk. An elder remembers a drought from decades earlier. Around the fire, an entire community could preserve knowledge simply by talking. And then something even more surprising may have happened. The same darkness that made nighttime frightening may also have helped the brain become sleepy. Before artificial lighting, human beings lived under a natural cycle of bright days and dark nights. The transition from daylight to darkness was gradual, and the body's internal clock responded to it. Modern research on circadian rhythms has shown that light is one of the strongest signals controlling the human sleep-wake cycle. In the evening, as light decreases, the brain begins increasing production of melatonin, a hormone involved in preparing the body for sleep. But ancient humans had something you probably don't. A real night. No streetlights out the window, no phone screen beside the pillow, no refrigerator light glowing at midnight, no notifications suddenly pulling the brain back into alertness. The darkness itself was a biological signal. But the real mystery is this. Did ancient humans actually sleep through the entire night? For a long time, we assumed they did. Then historian Roderick Eckert examined historical records from before the modern industrial era and found something unexpected. References to a pattern of first sleep and second sleep separated by a period of wakefulness during the night. The idea of segmented sleep has become controversial, and researchers debate how universal it really was. But historical evidence suggests that at least in some societies, waking during the night was not necessarily considered abnormal, and this changes how we imagine bedtime. Perhaps going to sleep wasn't always a single event. It could have been a cycle.
People might fall asleep after evening activities, wake naturally during the night, spend some time talking, praying, thinking, or simply resting, and then return to sleep. In other words, the ancient human night may have been less like a straight line and more like a rhythm. But here's where evolution enters the story. Your ancestors didn't just need sleep, they needed to survive while sleeping. For early humans, bedtime was potentially one of the most vulnerable moments of the day. You couldn't see predators approaching, you couldn't easily escape danger, and if you were sleeping alone, you were exposed. So humans developed something remarkably unusual. They slept socially. In many traditional societies, people sleep near family members or within groups. This creates what scientists call social buffering. The presence of others can reduce perceived threat and provide protection. And sleep itself may have evolved alongside this need for security. Consider what happens in some animal species. Certain birds sleep with one side of the brain more alert. Some mammals take turns resting. Meerkats use sentinels. Other social animals remain close together while sleeping. Humans may not have evolved exactly the same mechanisms, but our social nature likely played an important role in making sleep safer. So when ancient humans gathered at night, they weren't simply passing time. They may have been creating a protective environment in which the brain could finally let go. And then scientists discovered something unexpected about fire. Fire wasn't just a source of warmth and protection, it also transformed the night. Anthropologists have argued that controlled fire may have dramatically changed human behavior by extending social activity beyond sunset. Around a fire, faces could be seen, food could be prepared, stories could be told. But there was another effect. Fire creates a different kind of light from modern artificial lighting. Its warm, flickering glow is far less intense than the bright white and blue light produced by many modern devices. That doesn't mean sitting beside a fire automatically guarantees better sleep, but it raises an intriguing question. Did our ancestors spend their final hours in a lighting environment more compatible with the biological rhythms of sleep? Today, you can lie in bed at midnight and expose your brain to the same brightness you experienced at noon. Your body may know it's nighttime. Your screen disagrees. But ancient humans had another powerful sleep signal: physical exhaustion. Before agriculture and industrialization, daily life demanded movement. Walking, climbing, carrying, gathering, hunting, building, surviving. The body accumulated fatigue naturally. But here's the twist. Physical exhaustion alone doesn't guarantee good sleep. Modern sleep research consistently shows that sleep is influenced by many factors, including circadian timing, light exposure, stress, temperature, and behavior. And ancient humans had plenty of stress. They faced hunger, injury, conflict, disease, predators, unpredictable weather. So why weren't they constantly awake? Because humans are remarkably adaptable. The brain evolved the ability to shift between alertness and rest depending on environmental conditions. And one of the most important factors may have been predictability. A familiar group, a familiar shelter, a familiar fire, familiar voices, the same people nearby.
The brain may have recognized these signals as evidence that, for now, the danger had passed. And perhaps this explains something about modern sleep that we often overlook. You can be physically exhausted and still unable to sleep. Why? Because the brain doesn't only ask, "Am I tired?" It also asks, "Am I safe?" That's when everything changes. Maybe the ancient bedtime routine wasn't really about sleep. Maybe it was about creating safety. The fire reduced darkness. The group reduced isolation. Stories reduced uncertainty. Routine reduced unpredictability. And darkness reduced stimulation. Piece by piece, the human brain received the message it needed. You can stop watching. You can stop moving. You can stop preparing. You can finally let go. And perhaps that is the strangest part of all. Modern humans have created a world that is safer than almost any environment our ancestors experienced. Yet our brains often struggle to switch off. We carry tomorrow into bed. We replay yesterday. We check messages. We stare into artificial light. We consume endless information until the moment we close our eyes. Ancient humans had fewer distractions, but they also had fewer choices. When darkness arrived, the world became quieter. And maybe the question isn't simply what ancient humans did before sleeping. Maybe the deeper question is what they didn't do. They didn't spend their final moments asking whether someone had replied. They didn't compare their lives to thousands of strangers. They didn't fill every silent second with information. They sat. They talked. They watched the fire. They listened to the night. And eventually, when the brain decided the world was safe enough, they slept. Perhaps the ancient bedtime ritual was never a ritual at all. Perhaps it was simply the art of doing less. And maybe after thousands of years of evolution, that's the one thing your modern brain still remembers how to do. You just have to give it the chance.